Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 3 of the SDG Global Festival of Action 2019. Can I hear it? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love that energy. And hello, live stream audience. We are so happy to have you back. I'm sure you've all posted, but if you want to post more, please do so with the hashtag SDGGlobalFest and check out all our amazing content, not just right now, but things that will be posted in the days to come at globalfestivalofaction.org. I am so excited to present the first session of today's SDG studio for a lot of reasons, but one of them in particular is that this is live TV, and our wonderful speaker actually had to run backstage and change her shirt because she has her little one here with her, and there was some baby sick issues. So we're sorry to be late, but we love the fact that things are happening in real time. So to intro our first session, Canon has been working with the SDG Action Campaign for over a year, helping young people tell their own stories visually about the SDG in over 15 countries. And it's made those young people agents of change. We wanted to highlight one particular project that you'll hear more about in a few minutes. International Belgium and Canon created BruxELLES, a project aiming to break the taboo on violence against girls in the city. For several months, youth photographed the streets of Brussels, and the images that result are the result of education in photography, gender equality, and influencing. And the exciting thing about this is not just that that project exists, but that these young people have actually been able to present it to the youth parliament, and they're going to continue to take the project around the world, we hope. And many of them have been here at the festival capturing more stories, so you can see their exciting work as it gets posted on our website, which again is globalfestivalofaction.org. So with that, I want to bring out our first speaker to tell us more. Please welcome a photographer who's worked around the world on climate and inequality, Ulla Lohman.
Thank you. Now my shirt is clean again. I just put it on. So thanks very much. And thanks so much for having us. And it's actually not about me and my projects today. I'm just a photographer trying my best to do moving images to make people change and think about the future. But it's all about the young people, the new generation today, because they are the ones who actually make the change. So we have a very amazing group of young people here. It was the very first time in history that the members of the Belgian parliament listened to young people, and they're actually going to change their legislation. How amazing is that? So yes, wow. And you know how did that all happen? It happened through pictures. The young people told their stories through their eyes in images. And they have mainly worked on sexual harassment. They have talked to the Queen, to members of parliament, and now they're here to talk to us. Please give a big applause for the young people of Plan International Belgium. Thank you. Here they are. They're the best. And so, please, we were talking about the project, and with the help of Canon Imaging for Good, they actually could tell their stories through their eyes. So please first introduce yourself, and then we're going to talk more about the project.
Hello, my name is Manuela Barbosa. I'm a young activist of Plan Belgium, and I'm happy to stay with you, everybody.
Hello, my name is Nathanael. I'm from Brussels. I'm a young activist at Plan International. I'm really happy to be here, and let's have fun.
Hi, I'm Pauline. I'm also with Plan International Belgium. It's a great pleasure to be here with you.
So great to have you here. So please tell us a bit more about the project, and especially how did it all started and how did it develop?
So we are 14 young people who are dealing with sexual harassment, and we want to share this subject to sensibilize the people to act and not to be quiet. And sorry, thanks to Canon and the city of Brussels and Plan International Belgium that we had the opportunity to have cameras and to show what a woman lived and feel dans le transport public et tout en fait.
In the public transport
yes.
and in open public spaces.
Yeah.
I talked to Manu, she said, oh, I'm so nervous to do it in English, but give her applause, she does really well.
Thank you, thank you. And we had photos. On a fait des photos pour sensibiliser les gens aussi et pour que, avec les photos, on a fait des belles expériences, on a fait des débats, on a aussi cherché des solutions pour aider autres femmes et autres personnes dans tout Belgique et tout le monde.
They took pictures to raise public awareness and also make more people feel how the people feel when they're sexually harassed, and to create these images, through images, to make other people relate to the topic and to hopefully make a change not only in Belgium but all over the world. Yes, applause. Come on, yeah. So that is a really great way how it all started. But I know you have a really funny story of how you actually made people relate to the fact that they are going to be sexually harassed.
Yes, we did a lot of things that were really creative. And the thing that we'll never forget, it's when we had the 5 days courses. We were being split in 2 parts, like boys in one group and girls in one group, and we both talked about sexual harassment in a different way. And when we come together, it was like a different mindset, because the boys are not always seeing the same thing. Like we don't have the same view as the girls. Like there was a moment when the girls told us, when you are at the party, we have the impression to leave earlier because we are not. We don't feel comfortable being late at night on the streets or in the metro station. And it was like, I didn't think about it at the first time. So it was really like a new opportunity to see new things. And that was the thing that I want to show the other people and the boys and engage. Thank you.
If you may, I would add something more. As a girl, speaking about harassment, especially with 15 years old or 14 years old girl, it's very difficult because they have all this shame on them. It's a new situation, they never face that again. So we just did a safe space, and safe space just free us, You can say something to other girls and be in empathy with them. And that's something that's very important because we can't put words in it if we are shame, like we have shame. We need to be shameless to speak out loud.
That's really, really true. And big compliment for that. So you use pictures to help telling these emotions, telling these stories. I know you brought some for us. Please show it to us.
So,
Manu, that's yours.
Yes, so this is my picture. Photography is my passion. I do with so much love, with passion. I want to share these messages for you, everybody. In this photo, I see a girl. She's alone in a train
station.
With an atmosphere darkness, sad, insecurity, yes, sorry, and she feel alone, alone. And my message is that I want to say that each girl is a diamond with a lot of value, and I want to say that you always remember that you are important, that you are light, that you are an important place for this world, and we must respect each other and give us a place and shine wherever we are going, because we can change the mentality. Voilà.
Oh, what a message. So, Nati, your image.
Yeah, this is mine. So the thing that I want to show, it's actually the girls who are being late at night, it's going on streets. Actually, my thought's not that someone is behind it, it's only the things that girls think about it. Even if no one is behind there, they're always thinking about if something can happen, because it can happen to everyone. That's why I wanted to show that Brussels should be more lively and have more, like, less dark places. Try to put more light, more creativity, and more places where girls like to be and feel comfortable to be. Thanks.
Yeah, so this one is mine. I choose it because it shows a very important fact that boys and girls don't have the same perception of the streets. You know, thanks to Nati, I just get something that I never saw before, that some boys just hanging out in the streets but not being a danger. Like, for me, people in stairs like that represent a danger because I'm, like, aware of what I'm doing in the streets, you know? And, like, Nati just explained to me that, no, we're just hanging out and having some fun. And for me, it was, like, impossible because I saw everybody were knowing how they act in the streets. And I think a lot of boys currently don't like when we are saying that you need to act differently in the streets because they need to make the effort we are already doing, you know, the effort of being correct in the streets, not being afraid or not to feel in danger. I don't know what's the word. Aggressive.
To feel threatened.
To feel threatened. Yeah.
Woohoo! Great. So what I love about all these 3 images and all the other images they've been taken by these amazing young people is that you can really feel something. You look at the image, you feel threatened. You look at the image, you feel isolated, but also at the same time important. So it's about the feelings, the emotions, what these images transport. It's not just only an image, it's an interpretation. And this is what actually really moves me and what hopefully moves you as well. So I know you have a cooperation with the main transport company in Belgium, the STIP and the MIVB, if I'm correct. I have it on my phone, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try to say it. So please tell us more about that.
Yeah, so with MIVB and the STIB, we had a lot of projects. We have did some meetings with them and other stuff like that, and it was great because a lot of street harassment also happens in public transport, and Brussels being a big city still, like for Belgium. Yeah, we only are 1 million, I'm sorry. But it's still a big city for us, and there is a lot of danger also in the public transport. So working with them was very helpful. And I think the thing I learned with them is that you need to give the voice to people who know the subject. Like, we are speaking about street harassment because we know our subject, because we have been like victims of it. And when we were speaking with them, they just know better than us. And we were just trying to do something, and they help us like 10,000 times better than anything we could do. So it was very, very nice working with them.
Wow. So you have changed history in Belgium as well. And for the very first time in history, youth people were listened at Belgium Parliament. So tell us more about that. How did it happen?
Yeah, it was really touching because, well, one day we were like together with 100 young people in the parliament, and we had the occasion to speak in front of big persons and a really important person like the politicians, and it was really engaging because we had the feeling that we were being listened, and it really felt good because the young, it's important. We will be the next generation, and if you give us attention, we will feel comfortable, and maybe we will try and have the power to change something. And that's why I really liked it today at the parliament. And now they are trying to change a lot of things in Brussels. So the parliament is really sensibilized by this, and they're trying to change things in Brussels.
That is so cool. And just out of personal interest, how was it to be in front of the Queen and talking to her? You had a personal, a private audience with her. How was that?
It was very nice, but a little bit like stressy for us because it's like our queen. So I think for Commonwealth country, you know how it feels to meet your queen. And she was like very tall and very nice. Yeah, she was so nice and just like waiting for everybody and inviting us to speak. Great queen. We love you, Mathilde.
You have dedicated an entire year or more than a year of your life to the project. So for you, what was the biggest achievement, the biggest outcome of it?
So my greatest achievement is to be here at this moment. Thank you, thank you. I never imagined que je pouvais être ici parce que c'est incroyable. J'ai appris beaucoup de choses dans 3 jours et aussi j'ai beaucoup partagé et aussi j'ai beaucoup reçu.
Manu never thought she could be here for these 3 days to have all these amazing exchanges with people. She gives a lot, she also receives a lot, and this is about sharing.
So the biggest achievement for me is what I told. It's that we had the feeling that we were being listened, and that's the thing that I will never forget. Like when I be older, I will always think about it and tell it also at my children and tell them, yeah, you should also go outside and have the power to talk to people and try to make this earth a better place to live in.
I think the things I loved the most in this project, we are young people and we have seen the youth getting like with us, with our ideas, communicating the same thing, sharing our project. We speak in front of our parliament, in front of like 100 of young people from all schools. And that was, I think, the best thing we ever did because we have seen young people willing to learn stuff and now sharing those stuff. And I think that's what's happening this year. Young people just don't want to be only the future because we are also the present, like we are now and tomorrow. And that's the main thing we need to get. We are also today project.
So I think what makes you very special is that you're also using images, pictures to move people. And this is what actually, because everybody's not only your words, your actions, but it's also through images, everybody can get their own feelings and their own thoughts. So what do you think about how pictures, how important they are in today's world to tell stories?
They're really important because you can tell a story by writing a book and say all the things that are good, like statistic, and show, yeah, that happens there, and that's often like every person on, I don't know, how many they're harassed. There are really a lot of people who are being harassed. But by showing a picture, you get more a whole story behind it. Like you can show a picture, and every person will look at it with his own background. Like if a person has been harassed, will understand it better. But a person who never been harassed will feel like, yeah, maybe I should take more attention when I be on street and don't watch when I'm with my gang or something. Don't be lazy and watching the girls and put the girls more in a comfortable way when they're walking and not flying or watching their whatever.
So now you've seen so many things here throughout the last 3 days, so much input. What was one of the most things? What was some of the things what impressed you most? If you have one thing, a lecture or like an atmosphere or something, you can say this one made an impact.
Yeah, I have done a lot of reportage, so my answer is not going to be the best because I have experienced a lot. But I would say the best thing in the SDG festival, and it's like, I'm sorry, but it's my mom. Yeah, she's there with us, and she's my mom because she's like a strong woman, and I have met like 10 or 20 people, very inspiring. But they were all saying what my mom told me like 8 years ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago. So yeah, she's like a strong woman, doing what she wants to do, and that's, I think, it's for me the most inspiring thing I have seen in the SDG. I'm like, we're meeting her every day. She's like learning me stuff, and it's incredible.
That's very, very nice. So if there would be one thing you can take away as a message from the festival you want to share with other people from your age group, what would that be?
Mon message est que nous, on est une part de le jeune et on représente les jeunes qui ne sont pas ici présents. et que c'est important de nous écouter parce qu'on est, comme Pauline a dit, on est le présent, le futur et le changement parce que c'est nous qu'on peut changer, travailler ensemble et voilà.
Manu is saying that they are here to represent other young people, so they speak on behalf of other young people. So she would say just like, we are the present, we are the future, but we are also the change. So it's about making that change happen.
Exactly.
And also, what I want to give is, like, being here in this place, it's really inspiring, and you get a lot of knowledge that it's giving you, but at the same time, like Pauline said, we already know these things, but no one is taking action. Like, I didn't take action before, but everyone knows what's happening in the world, and now everyone knows what are the bad things, but no one takes action. And the people who are here are really the person who wants to make a change and are really active. That's why I like this place. Thank you.
So basically, if you have the chance to talk to a lot of important political leaders, so what would you say as one thing to them?
Do it. Not too much blah blah blah, but do it because it's very important to see the results.
How cool is that? Just do it for the political leaders. Perfect.
Yes.
So we still have 5 more minutes. So I would love to maybe include the audience if there would be a question in the audience. Sorry, the audience back on the television screens, they do not have that privilege. But the audience here, maybe they have a question to these young people. Do you guys want to become politicians?
I don't want to be a politician. I want to make the ideas, give them the ideas, and then they vote. For me, a politician needs to defend values and projects, but not invent them. It's us, people, who need to invent them, then present them to the world, because they are busy with so many stuff. You can't, you know, we're always saying a politician is lying or not doing enough, but he can't, like, defend his value, work on his every project, and then invent some new ones. No, we need to give them what we want to do with our country, you know? It's easy to ask you, oh, I want this. No, do it, present it, share it, you know, and then something may happen.
Another question? I'll have one. It's about now you're here at a certain point of your life, but you will get older and there will be new young people coming. So do you have any plans about kind of mentoring other young people with your ideas?
I can also answer if it's different. I would be pleased to have a young people in this seat, another young people. When I grow old, I want to, yeah, of course, help them. But that's the youth, you know. Youth needs to stand for youth. We like, if in 2 years I see somebody that I really love and he's 15 years old, I'm gonna like try to make him to go to the highest points ever, you know. The purpose is to help each other, help generation needs to help other generation, because you have things we don't have, but we may have things we don't have. Like, we have ideas, we have the experience, you know. Like, it's normal, some parents just take the car every day, we're taking the bus, so we know the problems, and sometimes we just, like, it's the same thing for ecological matters. It's our future, so we may don't know how to solve the problem, but we know that it's our future, so we need to work generation with generation. Like, you have the knowledge, we have like the impulsion, we have the energy to do it, so if we are working together, and I hope we will, just make this thing happen, you know.
And this is something I would love to give you also as a feedback. I was very privileged to work for these 3 days through Canon Imaging for Good program with you guys together. I was able to make your already great photographs maybe a little bit better. And honestly, I was really inspired by your work. You and the others from Germany, our 2 friends, they have done such an amazing job. I mean, you can all check it out on social media. The pictures, we've done a video together. You have a different view of seeing things. So honestly, I felt very inspired, and I'm very inspired to do even more with my photography. And this is something we should all do together, to work more on getting positive stories out there. And you definitely are, for me, very big examples because you've done it. So thanks very, very much for that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe if this little baby of mine is here, we can get him real quick, because I would love to introduce the very big future. He's sleeping right now, but we can still get him here. He's like the very big future. So I hope one day you will get the chance to teach him, so he will grow up knowing more about sexual harassment. And also, I mean, he has kind of seen your images already, but here he is, the little bit of the future. So, again, thanks so much for your inspiration. I hope it will be, thanks to your work, a better world for all of us and also for him. Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you.
Thank you, merci.
Thank you all.